You're watching First Alert 7 News at 9 on the CW and live on YouTube with Lauren Munt and weather with Tom Tiefertiller.
Thanks for joining us for First Alert 7 News on the CW, and thanks to those of you joining us live on YouTube. I'm Lauren Munt, and we start tonight tracking crime. The Ector County District's Attorney's Office announced today that 16-year-old Adriana Vincent was officially certified to be tried as an adult in a June homicide that took the life of James Johnson and her co-defendant Brandon Rue. The 19 are accused of murdering Johnson in his own front yard. Vincent's bond is set at $500,000. Across West Texas in Brewster County, 2 girls were accused after they used school computers to discuss a hoax bomb threat to Big Bend High School. The school had to be evacuated, and an explosive detection canine did a sweep of the area, and no explosive residue or items were located. Now the 2 girls are Annika Paige Herrera and Caitlin Ayami Stabe, and BCSO says they are adult age. They were charged with false alarm or report, and they were booked in county jail. And a boil water notice has been issued by the city of Kahoma. The city says that yesterday there was a water line break that caused water pressure to drop below the TCEQ approved level. Water must be boiled or come from a bottle before used for consumption, including brushing teeth and face washing. The city emphasized that this notice does not apply to the Sand Springs area. They will notify the public when the boil water notice is lifted. Continuing to track crime now in Big Bend, this morning Brewster County deputies responded to Big Bend High School. And we already talked a little bit about this. They arrested 2 students being tried as adults. And if you're in Big Spring and heard alarms near the refinery, know that the Delic was performing drills. But there is no emergency. The refinery will also be conducting training with local first responders throughout the week. So you may see emergency vehicles at the refinery as part of that training. Turning now to some election news. Tonight was the first of several debates that are happening this election year. Tonight, candidates for the MISD school board were in the hot seat. Seats are up for grabs in districts 2, 4, and 7. Candidates were asked about the bond that passed, specifically how they ensure that the $1.4 billion passed will be used efficiently, and how they communicate that progress to the public.
And we need to have people in place to ensure that there is no waste and that everything is finished on time and under budget.
By the actions of the voters, they have said that they want to invest in themselves, which is this community. They see the growth, they see the population that's coming in, so they're willing to say yes to the investment of Midland, Texas.
They were also asked about the growth of the district and how they, as board members, would not only accommodate but also retain that growth.
Does that mean, I know no one likes it, will there be portables again? Is there an area for expansion, or will we need to start looking at another elementary school 10 years down the line? We've got to stay on top of that. We can't afford to wait.
Let's also see if we can really raise morale for this school district by improving academic outcomes, supporting our teachers. Let's raise morale across the board so that, if we do need to build more elementaries, that we'll have more public will and public support to do so.
Additionally, they were asked about parental involvement in the classroom, more specifically how parents have more control and transparency over their child's education when it comes to the classroom.
Because if you want to go into your son or daughter's classroom, you're more than welcome to come up and be a part of it. You need to see what's going on so you can help. And we have a lot of great parents that do that, and we just need to learn how we're going to get better to continue the trends.
We have to foster an atmosphere where we feel welcomed, because parents are the biggest part of a child's education. Teachers have them for 7.5 hours a day. A lot of it is at home. So we have to have that relationship where parents feel welcomed at the school.
Candidates were also asked about school safety regarding threats, standardized testing, and school choice. Now, this was only the first of several debates happening this month. First Alert 7 and Basin PBS are also covering all of the other debates happening this month, and you'll be able to watch all of them live on KWWT My 30 on the dates that you see right there on your screen. We're going to take a pause now and talk your weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Tom Tieferteller. Tom?
Well, we might be looking at a few auroras tonight across West Texas, as it looks like this geomagnetic storm that's happening has been upgraded to severe. And they have seen auroras as far south as the Bahamas being reported tonight. So we may see that reddish hue to the northern sky here. The best bet is going to be getting away from city lights and taking a long exposure with your camera to see the view. But again, the best viewing is going to be overnight tonight as we've reached these G4 conditions on a scale of G1 to G5. And again, it does look like we may see that across the northern part of the viewing area in the northern sky tonight. So I just wanted you aware of that. Not a guarantee that we're going to see anything, but it is going to be there as a possibility, as we are looking at clear skies for the most part out there. As temperatures right now, no auroras showing up there, but temperatures into the lower 80s. So a quiet, dry evening, as we're seeing humidity levels around 10 to 15%. And it does look like we are looking at a quiet overnight, lower 60s on the way, and more 90s in the forecast. But there are changes on the horizon, and we'll talk about those here in a couple of minutes.
Thank you, Tom. In your health headlines, UTBB has welcomed back a patient to help with healthcare education. Except he's not an ordinary patient. Hal is a high-tech mannequin simulator, and he's designed to simulate real-life patient scenarios, allowing nursing students to practice and improve their clinical skills in a controlled environment. He can blink, move his head, breathe, scream, cry, and even introduce himself.
Hi, I'm pediatric Hal, and I'm 5 years old.
One of the things that was common was like, he talks, and it really helped them buy into the reality or the realness of the scenario that we were going through.
Hal is there to help students gain the skills that they will soon carry into the field without the risk of harming a real patient. And did you know that ECISD's dual language one-way program is teaching over 10,000 students how to read, write, speak, and listen in both English and Spanish. The program is for emerging bilingual students, and it works on 3 pillars: bilingualism, biliteracy, access to grade-level instruction, and biculturalism. This program was started about 8 years ago, and this past year the district fully implemented the pre-K through 5th grade programs, all with the end goal of making students feel comfortable speaking in their native language while having the same confidence to reach high levels of English learning.
We're seeing from pre-K, our kinder readiness has increased. Our state target was 47% for emerging bilinguals. They're at 75% when it comes to kinder readiness, so we're very excited about this. We also see improved scores on standardized testing. We see academic achievement is much higher with our students.
Now, for older students in grades 6 through 12, there's a different program.
But not all of those students speak English as their first language. So what we do is we have a really robust professional development. And so we help our teachers with very specific strategies and professional development to make sure that they can deliver, for example, chemistry, grade level chemistry, to students who don't speak English.
ECISD has a partnership with the Ector County Library, where a department leader comes in once or twice a month to read to the kids from a bilingual story. And earlier tonight, a special board meeting of the Board of Trustees for ECISD was held. The main order of business to conduct interviews for 4 firms who will assist in finding a new superintendent. These 4 were selected for an original group of 11, and each firm was given a 20-minute max time slot to present how they can help ECISD find someone who fits their needs. We've got the full details on their presentations tonight at 10. And this is the time of the football season that matters the most. District play begins tomorrow. In a little more than 24 hours, the crosstown rivalry game of Permian versus Odessa will kick off, and a lot of excitement is going around town. Permian trying to avenge last year's defeat, and Odessa looking to make it back-to-back wins against Mojo.
You're going to hear OHS on one side and Mojo on the other side.
It's a great atmosphere. If you get a chance, come out and check it out Friday night. It's going to be packed, 20,000 plus people there at Ratliff.
For former Odessa Broncos quarterback and first-year head coach Eric Hartman, he is familiar with Big Red versus Mojo.
You know, I've played in the game, and I've also coached in the game, and coached them back in 01 to 06 and back-to-back years that we beat them.
And back-to-back is what Odessa High is trying to make it in 2023 and 2024 in wins against the Permian Panthers. Hartman understands what the excitement brings to West Texans.
Well, I mean, it means a lot to the town. You know, it's always been a football town, and the rivalry's always been big. And so I want the West Side to be able to show up and come support us, and hopefully we give them a great game.
Head coach Jeff Ellison doesn't buy into the outside noise of beating Odessa High. He buys into something bigger.
For our goals that we set for our team, this is one of our first step towards district championship. We're a different football team. They're a different football team. We just got to stay focused on the task at hand.
Oh, we're very excited. You know, we've been building up to this moment, and you know, we'll get back on track and start playing again.
Just drown out the noise. They've been in football games before, and 5 of them so far. So it's another game.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Friday night.
Over in the Tall City, tomorrow is homecoming for Legacy High School, and of course, with homecoming comes the mums. Now, we talked about this 18-foot mum at the end of our show yesterday. You'll remember it was created by the Rebel Floral Design class and their instructor, Desiree Farmer, to show some Rebel spirit.
So I wanted to, honor the traditions and the spirit of the Rebels, and then carry it on to these girls and beyond, just to keep the school spirit and also teach them a little bit of mechanics.
The mum took 2 weeks to design for the big game, and kickoff for that big game, by the way, is at 7 o'clock. Continuing to talk about the Rebels, the LHS tennis team is bringing home another trophy. 1, 2, 3, Rebels! That's right, Legacy is area champs, and the Rebels defeated Northwest Eaton today. That final match score was 15-4, and they continue their quest for state and team tennis on Tuesday against South Lake Carroll. That's for the regional quarterfinal. And a $36 million sports complex is coming soon to Beal Park in Midland, and it's going to be the premier soccer tournament facility here in West Texas. Phase 1 of the project is to renovate the current 3 soccer fields and the cricket field that sit there. They're planning to expand fields west to Beal Parkway and build a parking lot. There will be more than 60 soccer fields for players under 4 to 13.
We know that soccer is one of the most popular rec sports in our community of Midland. We have a median age of 32 years old in our community, and our largest group of demographics is ages 0 to 5. We know that this is just a need that's going to continue to grow.
There are plans to break ground in the next few months. Coming up, Odessa police are raising money for a DPS trooper who was killed 2 weeks ago. We've got the latest on the fundraiser next. Earlier today, Odessa police were serving up burgers at the Ector County Coliseum. That's all to raise money for Trooper Ramirez, who died 2 weeks ago. Each plate came with a burger, chips, and a drink, and it was $10 at Barn A at the Ector County Coliseum.
All funds that are raised here today is going to go directly to the family. We're going to take it to the family and give it to them directly from us, just as an appreciation for the ultimate sacrifice that was paid.
Officer Thurman hopes that OPD can do more fundraisers for Trooper Ramirez's family.
Well, we are going to be looking at more heat in our forecast. It looks like those 90s are going to hang around, but then it changed, and we'll tell you about that change coming up next.
Now, from the First Alert 7 Weather Center, here's Chief Meteorologist Tom Tiefertiller.
Well, it was another hot day here in West Texas. Here's a reason why. A big ridge of high pressure right over us. Now, there is a little disturbance dipping down here across portions of the Texas Panhandle. There's been a few showers for some lucky folks around Childers down towards Archer City this evening, but we're not in on that. We're looking at, again, pretty quiet conditions, a lot of dry air in place, but we're starting to see a little bit of a buckle in the jet stream. And as that happens, well, it's going to start to bring in a pattern change, and that means cold fronts for West Texas and maybe some fall weather finally moving our way. Right now, though, it doesn't look too conducive, though, to any big amounts of rain in our forecast. The satellite and radar view is showing, again, pretty quiet conditions out there across most areas, as we are looking at, for the most part, quiet conditions this evening. There's those clouds, those showers hugging right along the Red River this evening, as temperatures across the state today were rather hot, escaping the 90s in the Dallas area with 89 degrees. But for the most part, though, it was a hot one out there across most areas this afternoon. Now, taking a look at the futurecast, we are seeing that we do have, for the most part, quiet weather in our forecast, and we'll see a few clouds develop in the mountain areas coming up tomorrow afternoon and into the evening hours. But for the most part, though, looking great for area football games. A lot of big games going on. Weather's not going to be a problem. And for the weekend, if you got some big things going on outdoors, weather's not going to be an issue at all. We're just going to be looking at a lot of that heat hanging around in our forecast. So for tonight, we'll maybe see a cloud or two drift in across the northeast Permian Basin. For the most part, though, quiet and clear. Lower 60s on the way. Tomorrow, may see daytime heating develop a cloud or two, especially across the mountain areas of West Texas, but most areas will be into the low to mid 90s to start the weekend, and it's going to stay kind of hot out there really for October. Anytime you see the mid 90s, That's a little on the hot side, and it looks like that front will arrive late Sunday into Monday, at least the first part of it, cooling us off just a little bit Monday, but then another shot of some cooler air is going to roll in next week, and that may bring some hints of fall to our forecast. But overall, you can see a stronger front's on the way later in the next weekend, and that's going to bring even better changes to our forecast.
How Texans are supporting hurricane relief efforts next. Two Texans are helping with hurricane relief efforts through lemonade. Robert De La Garza reports.
You know what they say, when life hands you lemons, you make lemonade. Verbena and Jessica Bullock are squeezing lemons for a good cause and not only for a quick treat. The mom and daughter duo are organizing a lemonade stand to raise money for hurricane relief to help families in North Carolina.
We got inspired as a family to ask what we could do as a family all the way out here in Texas to maybe help them.
I have a lot of empathy. I don't like it when anyone's sad.
Verbena, who's only 6 years old, was motivated after her mom showed her the devastating footage of the catastrophic destruction brought by Helene.
Immediately, she got very excited and said, I want to do a lemonade stand. So in the spirit of encouraging her generosity and her inspiration, we rolled with it and are helping her make it happen.
Verbena initially wanted to send some of her stuffed animals and coloring books. Later, coming up with the idea of a lemonade stand after she read a children's book that also inspired her.
Oh, it was a picture of a girl. She was a kid, and she made and I could tell that it was a story about her that she was running a lemonade stand.
Jessica says Verbena is motivated by the idea of making a difference and helping others who have lost everything.
I think it's important that kids know that their inspired ideas can make a difference in the world, even if it's small.
No matter what they raise, Jessica says victims in North Carolina need all the support they can get.
We all have the power to do something important, and every little bit counts. So even though it's just a little lemonade stand, here in East Texas, it's going to make a small difference for a family and a community somewhere in North Carolina.
Jessica says her family is vetting possible candidates for the funds raised, including a family with a daughter around Verbina's age who lost everything. The Bullocks have garnered loads of support from community members and local organizations to make this happen, receiving donations of cups and supplies. They anticipate selling 100 to 150 cups of lemonade. Jessica is hoping Verbina and her friends involved will learn valuable lifelong skills.
So we're really trying to make sure that the children are at the forefront of the whole project, because we know that's where learning happens best, whenever they're excited and inspired and feel like their contributions are really important.
Reporting from Van, Robert De La Garza, CBS 19.
Also helping with hurricane relief, L.T. Jacobs Gilliam, Lieutenant Jacobs Gilliam, an associate with the Salvation Army of Midland and Odessa, and he's part of the Texas leadership team that'll oversee disaster operations in Sarasota, Florida. Still ahead, we've got another look at your First Alert forecast coming up after this quick break.
Well, a pretty quiet weather pattern on the way. You showed it there, showing the temperatures into the 90s. We're also talking about auroras tonight. We may see those in the northern sky. You got to get out away from city lights, though, to be able to see some of it. And it's not a guarantee that we are going to see them, but we are seeing a pretty strong geomagnetic storm. So the possibility is there. Better chance as you go up to Lubbock and Amarillo.
I'm going to go drive up there now. Thanks for joining us for First Alert 7 News at 9 on the CW. We've got more news.